9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition for tonight headlines. We have ADO Association organizes the second edition of the Godoria Walk with a strong participation. For the international scene, Joe Biden is hopeful about COVID-19. Welcome to our newsroom. The Association for the Future and Development of Obok launched this morning the second edition of the Godoria Walk in the Obok region. The event was well attended, a 2-kilometer walk along the edge of the mangrove forest of Godoria and the magnificent beaches and sea rich in fish resources, especially seafood. Two ministers took part in the Godoria walk. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and the Minister of Youth and Sports, Hassan Mohammed Kamil, who supported the organization of the event with a team led by the Secretary General Khadija Ibrahim Idris, who supported the Association for the Success of the Godoria Walk with a visit to the forest and a meeting to discuss the program to support the reductions of vulnerability in the Godoria coastal fishing areas. Regional authority, including Abdul Malik Muhammad Banoita and the president of the council, supported the event and also participate in the march with the delegation of officials, including parliamentarians. The ADO mobilized a huge crowd from the Obok region, especially young girls and boys who were enthusiastic to participate in the second edition of the 2-kilometer of Godoria Walk. In addition, lovers of the Godoria Walk came from the capital, notably, as well as from all the region. The walk was followed by a debate on the situations and the best approach to preserve this unique forest, a forest that is a source of food for the local population, conducive to the breeding of fish and seafood in abundance, and also a source of income for tourism professionals. The Minister of Agriculture has implemented the PRAVREV project with a positive impact on part of the Godoria forest, but much remains to be done, and partners such as FACT, FAO, and the private sectors will be sensitized to participate and support conservation activities. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, participated in the second editions of the Godoria March and congratulate the association ADO of a young and dynamic association whose main objective is to provide the maximum of effort to ensure a better future by multiplying the activities for the promotion of the young peoples like the Godoria March, but the promotions of the activity and development like the educational support. The minister encouraged the association to continue its activity in the regions of Obok, which has a set and which will be the future of the Republic of Djibouti. For his part, the Secretary of State for Youth and Sports, Hassan Mohammed Kamil, praised the organization of these second editions of Godoria Walk, expressing his thanks to the participants who dispatched massively for the success of this march. The youth called on the people of Obok to vote massively for the President of the Republic, who made tremendous effort in developing youth, providing them and ensuring a brilliant future for them. He also praised the effort made by this association in all fields, specifically in the development of the region. In their turn, the Secretary General of the Secretary of State for Youth and Sports expressed their pleasure to participate in the second editions of Godoria March, which started this morning between the Godoria forest and its beautiful beaches. They also expressed their thanks to the Future and Development Associations, which spared no efforts in promoting youth and developing the region in all files. They called on the peoples of the region, especially the youth, to withdraw ballot cards to vote massively in favor of the President of the Republic for the sale of the development process in a country. In the continuity of the Forum for Employment Initiatives project, the Ministry of Labor has launched the second part of this program with the implementation of the 6 priority actions in favor of employment and professional integrations of young people in the interior regions. A total of 80 young people will benefit from these programs in each region. It is within this framework that a strong delegation from the Ministry of Labor, led by the Inspector General of Labor, Mr. Abdi Farah Idle, has been in Obok since Tuesday, where it had a first meeting with the local authorities, including the Prefect Abdul Malik Mohammed Banoita, the President of the Council Mohammed Hamad Ismail, and during the meeting a steering committee of 6 planned actions was created. It will be placed under the responsibility of the Prefect of Obok, Abdul Malik Mohammed Banoita, for the launching of the planned actions. This committee, composed of the representative of regional public institutions and civil society, is in charge of the execution, approval, and follow-up of 6 action programmed to improve the employability of young people in the region of Obok, with the delegation of the Ministry of Labor, led by the Inspector General Abdi Farah Idle. Among these actions are 10 green and red jobs in the field of fishing, agriculture, aquaculture, productions of renewable energy. In Dikhil, the multi-sectoral approval committee was set up by the prefect, the president of the regional council, and the technical advisor to the Minister of Labor. The representative of ANIFIB submitted to the committee the list of job seekers with master's and bachelor degree who will participate in the civil service recruitment competition. On the basis of this list, 10 candidates were selected by drawing lot to be placed on a professional integration contract. Subsequently, 10 candidates were also selected a lottery to form a multi-service workshop. These young people with vocational baccalaureate diploma will be provided with work tools and premises to start the workshop. On Wednesday, 10 March 2021, 13 of the candidates with a baccalaureate diploma were selected by lottery to follow training course, and 10 to join the voluntary civic service. 10 young people who have followed horticultural trainings at the Technical High School of Dikhil were selected for the creations of the green job. And now in Turkey, where a high-level delegation from the Central Bank of Djibouti visit this week the 11th Bosphorus of Istanbul, led by Mr. Malik Garada, head of the banking supervisions, and composed of Ms. Fathia Mohammed and Mr. Omar Ibrahim, administrator of the CPEC, in collaboration with the UNDP Djibouti representative Ms. Fatima El Sheikh. The visit of the Djibouti delegation aimed to learn from Turkey good practices and success in financial inclusion, digital electronic payments, Islamic finance, and microfinance. Several very fruitful working meetings were held with several government agencies and other financial institutions specialized in these different development areas in relation to the country's Vision 2035. This vision of the Djibouti delegation also reflects the firm will of the head of state of the two brotherly countries to strengthen the ties of cooperation and strategic partnership. The French Institute of Djibouti proceeded in the afternoon of Wednesday, March 10, 2021, to the inaugurations of Simone Veil Room as part of the celebrations of the International Women's Rights Day. participate in the event in addition to the Minister of Women and Family, Moumina Homed Hassan, the Ambassador of Djibouti, of France to Djibouti, the Ambassador of European Union in Djibouti, the Technical Advisor of the Minister of Communication, the famous writers and poet Dr. Sheikh Wata. This was to honor the memory of Madame Simone Veil, a symbol of resilience, strength of character, dedication, and influence. This French woman with an exceptional destiny, a teenage survivor of the death camp, fought all her life for present and future generations to learn from the horrors of the 20th centuries, to learn how to live together and to defend dignity of each person, said the French ambassador to Djibouti. The Neighborhood 7 BIS organized yesterday evening, Thursday, 11 March, at the Hassan Guled State Abtidon Stadium, a sensitization meeting on the withdrawal of voter card. The meeting was attended by the National Campaign Director, Mr. Ahmed Ali Barre, the President of the Sensitization Committee, Mr. Issa Khaire Roble, as well as local elected officials and neighborhood councils. Last night's meeting was aimed at reminding and raising the awareness of local elected officials, neighborhoods, council, and leaders of community networks on the importance of the upcoming democratic meeting on 9 April and the need to carry out outreach work in the various neighborhoods so that voters can collect their voter cards and consequently fulfill their civic duty. The various guests who took the floor, and as well as the leaders of the associations, all praised in their speeches the development of the Republic of Djibouti over the past 20 years under the leadership of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh. We learned with sadness and the death of Fatuma Ahmed Odowa, who joined her last heavenly home, born on 1st January in 1956 in Djibouti and married to Jibril Ige, retired warrant officer. She was a kind, affable, modest, and discreet woman. Her close neighbors and friends remember her as a humanist, courteous, generous, and pious person. She leaves behind him 11 children and 12 grandchildren. We pray that the Almighty grant her mercy and makes her grave as for tastes of paradise. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. For the international scene in United States, Joe Biden is cautiously optimistic after a successful start to his term. In his first solemn address, the president urged his fellow citizens not to let their guard down too quickly in the face of COVID-19. He promised to vaccines that vaccines will be available to all adults who want them from 1 May, 1 year of pandemic, 15 days of the White House. Joe Biden relied on this concomitance last night to display his optimism during his first solemn address as president, dominated by the fight against coronavirus. This is it for this edition. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.